Welcome to Talking Giants, presented by SeatGeek. I'm your host, Bobby Skinner, with my co-host, Justin Pennick. And we've got license plate guy, the guy with the license plate, Joe Ruback, on the show. We're going to talk about the Giants draft, the softball game that's coming up this week, we're really excited about. And, Justin, the Giants signed a minicamp invite, right? They signed Ryder Anderson and Jordan Mosley a couple years ago. Mosley didn't make it. Ryder made his way onto the 53-man roster. And we got Elijah Chatman, who I honestly think has just as good a chance as anybody, and maybe on both, on a side of the ball that he didn't play that often. Justin, how are you?
Yeah. How's it going, Bobby Skinner? Big week. Excited to see you. And man, anytime that we get together with Giants fans, whether that be through something that we're doing, like a tailgate at a Giants game or an event that we're throwing, but really excited to get together with everybody and see as many people as possible on Saturday at License Plate Guys softball game. I think we have some details.
DexyDexyGame.com.
Yeah, we have some details to announce. So the link is also in the description to get your tickets.
Yeah, so what we did is we got and LPG basically he hooked us up with this. Very thankful to him. And listen to the interview. We have a loge box at the softball game, right? It's
Yeah.
outdoors. And we want to pay that back by giving a donation to St. Christopher's through that. So we already opened it to our Patreon, didn't have much response, but we're opening this up to everybody that's listening now. We want you guys to be a part of it. Me and Justin will be there. Now, there's only a certain amount of spots. So the way to do this, because I'm not going to put out like what you need to do exactly on air. And it could change. But if you're serious and giving like a halfway decent donation, and if you're with a group, right, obviously it'll be a little different. Email me, bobby@johnboymedia.com, and then we'll set that up. And hopefully we're giving a nice little donation on behalf of Talking Giants to St. Christopher's through the softball game. So, you'll have your food and soda, water provided. If you want to, drink alcohol, you got to pay for your own alcohol. We won't have that provided in it. But hey, you get to watch the game with us, all that good stuff. Pretty, I'm just excited for it, right? I'm excited to get out there, meet everyone, and talk with everybody. See the players out there doing their thing. It's a very cool event, and I said it at the end of the interview, but it's a FOMO event, right? 2019 was the first time I was on Twitter, and I wasn't even doing this. I was like, man, I missed out on this. This is awesome. So now that it's back, we made sure we're going to be there having fun, having a good time. So make sure
Yeah.
but you have to get your ticket to the game. So just get the cheapest one possible. Email me first, but you'll need a ticket to get in, and then you'll set it up individually with us in the box. So
Yeah, if you want to go to the game hey, you don't even want to hang out with us that much, then that's totally cool. The link is in the description. And if you do want to hang out with us, possibly in this box where there's going to be food and stuff provided, email bobby@johnboymedia.com.
yeah, bobby@johnboymedia.com. I think we're doing burgers, dogs, pizza, chips,
Yeah,
and
there's a
dip,
good amount of stuff.
and then some soda and I think we're trying to cover like 10 people or so. So we already got a couple to sign up. So we're putting it out to everybody. So hope to
Hope
see
to see
you
you there.
guys there. All right, Justin, we're gonna kick it to license plate guy. But first, Justin's episode is brought to you by Mando, and you're gonna need some Mando for this, right? We even got a baseball read for this softball game. Do you hate foul balls? You know the kind. No matter how hard you scrub them in the shower, they still smell. They stankin'. Well, ditch the soap and step up to the plate with Mando whole body deodorant, developed by a doctor. Yeah, that's right, a friggin' doctor. This game-changing formula is safe for your entire body and knocks out odor like a champ. Mando is made with mandelic acid, which picks off odor at the source. Keep you fresh for up to 72 hours. That's crazy. You know how long 72 hours is, Justin?
It's 3 days.
There you go. Very good. Whole body deodorant. Mando is seriously safe to use anywhere on your body, pits, packages, belly buttons, button cracks, stinky crevices, stomach folds, and feet. Make sure you clean your belly buttons, people.
I do it every day.
Luckily, I had had a discount code to help you get hooked on my favorite smelling whole body deodorant on the market. New customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack. Use code GIANTS at shopmando.com. Make sure you listen to the spelling. SHOPMANDO.com. Think of it like Mando. You'll be glad you did. And here's license plate guy. I'm very excited for this interview that we're doing right now because we've had this guy on a million, probably the most frequent guest on the show, to be honest. It's either him or Dan Duggan, who was like one of the first episodes. But it's finally interviewing him the week of the softball game, and I get to go, which I'm very excited about. License plate guy. We got the softball game coming up Saturday. Make sure to get your tickets at sexydexy.com or sexydexygame.
Yeah. Have you ever just put in sexydexy.com?
I feel like we might have joked about that on the last show.
I think we did. It's not pretty. Don't leave out the game.
Yeah, sexydexygame.com. We want to talk draft with you. How much of that hair are you gonna have left by the end of all this?
Because of the draft or because of the game? No, I'm just kidding. The draft was great. Yeah, the draft was great. The game, not much. It's been really it's a really, really tough thing to pull off an event of this magnitude. It really is.
Yeah, you've talked to me, and
But
I just
it's gonna
see
be worth it.
I just can't imagine trying to get all these people in the exact same place. But they are, right? And we can. I mean, I can go down the list of players that are there. Like Eli's going to be there, correct?
Correct. This will be his second time coming.
Oh,
Yeah. So obviously, his Dexter Lawrence is going to be there. Eli. It seems like the entire 42 roster is there. We got what 30 current players. Like it's finally here. I'm excited to see you guys pull this thing off.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's amazing. The times we've run it before, when you talk about the former, believe it or not, it's been easier because their kids were just like babies. But now, you talk to somebody like, a Tollefson or a Tynes who are not coming because their kids have like travel this and travel that, or all-star this and all-star that. And it's becoming more and more frequent because the more kids they have and the sports that they get into, that they're not readily available like they used to. They really have normal lives where their lives revolve around their kids. So, and that's happened a few times. Like, I'll give you an example. Somebody like a Danny Ware. Danny was in. I can't wait to come. Ruben Drones, can't wait. Unfortunately, those two players also are not coming. Now, look, no one's going to stop the game for a couple players, not being able to show. But we started out at 122, and I think we're down to 110. My guess by game time, I'll be hovering around 100.
Oh gosh, only 100 current and former New York Giants.
only 100. Only 100 Giants showing
terrible.
up to an event.
You tweeted about it.
Right.
It made me think, because you think about like some of these autograph shows, and I know it's not an autograph show, but people do get autographs here. Like how much the prices are at those autograph shows, and you're getting like an entertainment. You get to get up close with these guys, maybe get some things signed here and there, like the softball game, the food, the fan, like all the fans in one place. Like I am like legitimately just as excited as for this event as I am a Giants game. Giants, maybe not Giants training camp, just because that's where I thrive. But like I'm legitimately like just excited about like all of this. But we'll talk about that a little bit at the end. Who's your pick for the home run derby and the dodgeball champion? I feel like we should all make official picks for this.
I don't know. The more and more the years go by, the more and more or less I'm inclined to go with the former. They're getting older. I don't know, man. I feel it, and they got some on me. So I think I'm going to go with the current players and the athleticism. Believe it or not, the only way the former wins if maybe they do something stupid on the dodgeball field or something like that. Home run derby. You know what? I don't know. All my favorites are out. Davis Webb, who's a monster hitter. Golden Tate is a monster hitter. Nick Gates, the stadium couldn't even hold him. Yes, I begged him, by the way. I've been begging him. I'm like, you never know, man. You just show up. But those guys were my favorites. I'm gonna go with someone like I don't know, maybe like Tracy Jr. That's who I'm picking to win a home run derby.
That's actually a good pick. Like he played two positions in NFL.
Correct.
Wan'Dale Robinson's my dodgeball MVP vote. just because one, he's a
Nice.
hard target to hit, and he's just so damn quick.
Lateral
Yeah,
movement.
I actually was going to go
Lateral
with
movement.
Slayton, but I don't think Slayton's making it with everything going on, unfortunately.
I'm just gonna pick Gunnar Olszewski to win the home run derby too. Like he
Just for the hell of it.
There's no way that kid didn't
It's-
play baseball in high school and like could have had college offers.
I think Justin's going with Roaches. Yeah, that's his pick. Yeah,
Yep. Nacho. I'm in.
with Nachos. That's it.
I'm in. I think that's
Our
the
little
perfect pick.
muscle. But hey, let's talk about some current Giants too, and then we'll finish off with some softball game stuff. First, how you were in Detroit for the draft? How was that? How were the vibes for the Giants pick of Malik Neighbors? I know probably a lot of people wanted McCarthy there. How'd you feel?
Yeah, first of all, I loved it. I didn't want the reach of McCarthy. Look, this is how I do every single year now. I make a draft day jersey, and I pick my top 4. I had Daniels for the hell of it. I had May because I think the Giants were seriously in contention for moving up, which didn't happen, but it was dead serious and everybody knew it. And if you didn't think that was happening, then you're truly blind to the fact, because it was happening. And then I had my 2 favorite receivers, Neighbors and what's his name?
Uduze.
Yeah. So this is a funny story. I get out of the car. First of all, it's 300,000 people in Detroit. It was amazing. They did an unbelievable job. It really is like being in New Orleans. It's like Mardi Gras at the draft parties. It's a lot of fun, and I definitely think that everybody should go. So I get out of the car, I park it, I'm ready to walk in, and I realized that I left 2 nameplates in the car, and the car's like a mile away. And the only nameplates that I have are the 2 wide receivers. And I'm like, oh man, I think the Giants are definitely gonna get a quarterback too, I think. But we'll see what happens. And sure enough, Neighbors was picked, and I was really happy about it. And it's funny, our section was literally next to the Bears. So I just gave them the nameplate, and I was like, look, there's your next pick. So and they were holding it up, and I was like, meanwhile, you idiots, it's blue. But they held it up, and it was great. A whole bunch of Bears beat writers picked it up. It was like, there's my nameplate, like on some newspaper, which was really funny. So it was great, and I love the pick, and I think he's going to be the next 1,000-yard receiver. Let's go.
Part of the trouble of talking about this team right now is you kind of have to talk about it in the future because everyone's so negative towards 2024, and I get it coming off 2023, but it's going to be good to get what I think is the best, what was the best player available, and Malik Neighbors at a position that's important, right? We saw the way Odell was able to, essentially drag teams to be able to score points, right? Like we hope that Malik Neighbors can even be close to what Odell was able to do. And me and you were talking about it. Yeah, is there some thoughts of maybe some, being a headache at times or whatever? Possibly. But the spin on that is that, well, those guys end up getting traded for first round picks if it ever gets to that point. But the hope is that you can just get to a winning team and you can just deal with whatever headaches come with a player. Because and winning heals all wounds. There's less headaches when you're winning. You don't have to deal with drama when you're winning.
All right. So not only is that a great point, look at Odell. I truly believe that Odell's antics, however you want to view them, were magnified 50 times over because the Giants were not a good team.
Oh, yeah, and they might have not happened if they were winning. If they were winning games, that a lot of that stuff doesn't happen, which doesn't excuse him, but it's just part of the reality.
I'm not saying, pissing in the end zone in Philly or doing something like that. That was the one thing I did
like, honestly.
All right. But the point is, it was magnified out the yin-yang. And I believe that if the Giants' record, only had, 2 or 3 or 4 losses, I don't know, it wouldn't have been that big of a deal. Now, fast forward to Malik Neighbors, and I'm not comparing. I don't think we should compare. Athleticism-wise, I will compare, but I don't want to talk about, LSU and a problem and a wide receiver and thinks he's, all world and all that stuff. Malik Neighbors will make a name for himself. You don't have to compare him to Odell. The only thing that I want from Malik Neighbors is that he's surrounded by a supporting cast, and that includes the quarterback. And I want him to ball out, and I believe that Daniel Jones will get him the ball. And I just hope and pray that Malik Neighbors doesn't look at Malik Neighbors' stats, and that's how he runs. The Giants are 10-1, but he's got 300 yards, and he's not happy. Or the Giants, are 1-10, and he's got 850 yards, ready to gain 1,000, and he's like, "Let's go, baby, we rocking and rolling." I guess time will tell. I think I think he's going to be a team player, and I think it's all going to work out.
I think he's going to get yards regardless if the Giants are winning or losing. And if they're winning, I think he's going to be a big part of that. What was your favorite pick of the draft after Neighbors?
I wanted Kool-Aid, so I'm sticking with the Kool-Aid pick. I think he was my pick. Look, it was crazy.
Well, I meant like that the Giants made, like the second or third, fourth.
Newbin, 100%.
Yeah.
I really do. I think the Giants I didn't see it coming. I don't know about you guys, but I really thought they were going to choose someone later in the draft, but and they were going to rock with who they had. But all of a sudden, and I didn't do a lot of work on them. I mean, obviously I follow you guys. You guys do work on everybody, even Division III guys in Cortland. But I really loved it, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see the linebacker. I'm excited to see Andru Phillips. I'm excited to see Theo Johnson, which, by the way,
I'm excited for Theo.
I think a lot of people are excited. I mean, he also has the athleticism. He's got I think his blocking is unbelievable. It doesn't get enough for pass catching because the numbers aren't blown away. But I think he's going to be a surprise.
Have you talked to Newbin yet? Like if you've just heard him talk, like hear him talk in interviews and stuff like that, I just feel like he's going to be a glue guy that's going to be around here for a long time. Not just because, hey, you got to be a good football player, but he seems like to be just like a personable guy. He seems like a you guy, like a guy that would like really connect with you.
Yeah, great. You're right. I only talked to him one time, and it was about the game, but the softball game. But yeah, you're right. You hit the nail on the head. I think he's the most excited of the draftees to be a New York Giant.
He seems like he gets it. Like, he talks about, hey, I prepare, and I don't think it's bullshit, by the way. Like, he talks about the Bobby, but we've talked a lot about, hey, the way that he's talked about, I prepare, I get these interceptions, I make plays on the football, I'm a playmaker because of the way that I prepare, and it just seems like he gets it. And then also by saying how excited he is to be a Giant, that's the shit that gets the fans all in love with you too. So
yeah, ball out, say the right things, ball out, and you're loved for the day you die.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
You just listen to the way he talks about the game, and when you just watch him, it's like, how did you get this interception? Oh, you knew exactly the way the quarterback did this or did that. So yeah, he's really Theo's the one I'm excited about because before the draft, we even had a clip of it. I was like, if there's a tight end in this class who we look back at and are like, this guy ends up being a star, it's Theo Johnson. But now I feel the pressure because now I'm like, he has to be good because I said pre-draft.
Is this the most pressure that you've had since Andrew Thomas for a guy to be good?
I kind of think so, right? Like I at least need I at least need him to be an average starter. If not, then I look like a real fool. But hey, Andrew Thomas has made me look smart. So
yeah, but come on, you guys, that's not fair to you guys, and that's just the way of social media. You guys break down so many players, and yeah, you fall in love with a few.
We had a Cortland scout on our draft stream, by the way.
It's what I'm saying is it's not fair. Whether you hit or miss, it's how you reacted to somebody's game film. Remember, I'll take you back a few years ago when we were having this conversation, like, what wide receiver do you want? I'm like, well, when the top three are gone, I really want Kadarius Toney. Kadarius Toney is the most athletic and the greatest wide receiver out there. Am I wrong about that, Piggy? He was terrible.
Well, Tony's the ultimate, like, you had to know him as a person to figure out that one was going to go wrong. That's why
we got some new scouts, so we're good to go now.
If there's one example in time in my life, you know how, like, if you were a fly on the wall for any event in history, what would you be? You want to know what I would choose? I would choose the Kadarius Toney Joe Judge Senior Bowl interview to see what What was really said in that extensive interview that really got Joe Judge sold on it? But anyway, Joe, today was they announced that as we're the day we're recording this on Monday, the 100-year anniversary, and the patch came out. I think they're going to come out with the hat, and a bunch of different stuff like that. I like everything that they have come out with, the patch, the logo, and even the theme where they're going to have like a whole bracket of like the top 100 Giants. I think even like 100 plays they're doing too. So give me your thoughts on everything that dropped today.
Yeah, I love it. I saw mixed reviews on social media, but I think people were when something that like this happens, at breaking news about what the Giants are doing, and it's something as not what you thought, like the uniform.
That's it. People,
like, right? Oh my God, that's what you're picking. Oh, you guys are so behind the times. No, they're not. It's 100 years, and they're going to be doing some stuff for the fans, and of course, are we going to get a large this time and not a medium? Like, shut up. That's just dumb. I like what the Giants are doing. I love the patch. Obviously, I'm working on a jersey already of it because I really do love it. I can't wait to see the top 100 Giants. Can't wait to see the top 100 plays that they pick. I'm sure there's going to be a town hall, and it's going to do something special then. So the Giants are doing some stuff, and I love it. So, yeah. I mean, what's not to like about that stuff? If it's something that's going to get it going, or you're going to get from some of the fans is, oh, how about a winning team? Try that. Oh, thanks.
Yeah, so I have many takes on this. One, the Pepsis were objectively funny when you think like if you had a family of 6, you got one medium. That one was funny. And the big word, but when I learned that like when it comes to stuff like this, people are just mad at the team losing, which is understandable. Was 2021 where like they're trying to distract us with all these ceremonies. Like, no, they don't get to pick when the 10-year anniversary of Super Bowl 46 is. They retired Eli's number the first chance they got. And they realized they had to retire Strahan if they were going to retire here. They are not trying to distract us from the team. Like they don't get to pick when their 100-year anniversary is. And as far as jersey changes, I don't want jersey changes. We just had a new throwback added. I don't want New Jersey change, especially the ones that were leaked out there. Those ones are awful. Now, if they bring the Reds back, I'll be happy. But that's probably not going to happen anyways.
I'm a big red person too. There's not many of us out there.
I guess they just hyped it up, and people kind of expected it to be a New Jersey, and it wasn't. So,
no, we hyped it up. The fans hyped it up. They didn't hype it up. They hyped up what they were going to hype up.
That's true.
I agree. Didn't they? It was Sunday. It was Sunday that they gave the post of like, okay, right? They didn't even.
It was on like Friday or something. They just did the video like 5:13 or whatever it was.
All right, so they gave a Friday dump post of all right,
like,
wait for this.
Tuned, right.
Yeah, they didn't tease it for 2 weeks through a whole month. Right. They didn't do series. It was one tease video, and then they
everybody took it. Everybody went crazy.
Yeah,
it only takes one person, you know that, and then everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, I got it from Bobby Skinner. I got it from Justin Pett, and then that's it, and then it goes crazy.
I like the patch. Like I think the patch. I'm interested to see if it's only going to. I think it's only going to be the home uniforms. Is it going to be the away uniforms too? I think it blends well.
I think they wear it the whole year. I would think
for home and away, because I think they only showed the blue uniforms from what was like leaked out by like some of the beat reporters. No. I think the blue looks really good. I think it like blends in nice with the uniform. I remember the 04 ones where I think that was 75 years. Where it looked clunky. It didn't.
And you have the 75 on it. Yeah,
it looked kind of clunky. It didn't fit with the uniform. I think this fits well with the uniform, so I'm excited for it. I think it looks clean.
It brings me back to how good the Spider Lockhart one looked back in the day. You know what? So no, Justin. I think that's a really good question. I'm assuming it's on the uniforms for the year. It's kind of like when you win the NFL Man of the Year and you get your Walter Payton or whatever. It's on your uniform for the whole year.
Then I'm going to be interested to see what the away patch looks like, since the patch is so blue based, but the away uniform is so white and red based.
I think the 100-year, it's just the 100 emoji that you see on social media. It's just 100.
All right.
No, I'm just kidding.
Interested? Oh yeah, the 100 emoji. I believe you. Yeah,
I also don't want us to change our like regular jerseys. Like, do you like? I love our away jerseys. I hope we won 2 Super Bowls in those jerseys. I hope they never change. Or a team that's 100. Like, I don't want to do. I like alternates, right? But like actual new team jerseys, I don't want new ones.
I also love the white pants. What do you think about the white pants?
I like white pants. I like actually white pants better than the grays, to be honest with
I
you.
do too. It maybe
Yeah.
Kevin Booth's ass wouldn't have looked so big in the white pants. Because Kevin Booth had the
Is he going to
fattest
be
ass in
there?
America.
As of now, Kevin Booth's big in the NFL.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm going on record right now. Right now, save this, please. I think Kevin Booth's going to be commissioner one day.
Wow.
I really do. He's that
Yeah.
intelligent. I'm not kidding. But Kevin Booth is one of the last guys that I gave till Wednesday to just let me know how you worked out with the NFL schedule, because I know he's got some stuff to do. But I have his jersey here, so hopefully he's coming.
Speaking of where did he go to school?
Cornell.
Yeah. So we're talking Cornell again.
Yeah, he's a really intelligent man.
Oh, he's on LinkedIn. He's the director management council at the NFL.
I'm on LinkedIn too.
You're stunting.
Now you guys are gonna just hang with Kevin Booth on LinkedIn. You're set.
Nobody takes my LinkedIn serious. Neither do I. We talked about we actually don't ever talk about Daniel Jones. I don't know how people talk about the same guy I understand the quarterback, but haven't think where are you? I guess we talked about this a little bit before. I tried to get a Daniel Jones question and I don't know what to ask.
I'm gonna come off. How about just what do you think of Daniel Jones?
What do you think of Daniel Jones right now?
I'm a complete flip flopper, and I don't give a shit because I'm in Daniel Jones's camp. He is the quarterback of the New York Football Giants. Same thing, Eli at the end of his career. I didn't go for the Davis Webb stuff. I didn't go for the Lauletta stuff. I didn't go for the Geno Smith stuff. And there was no reason to sit Eli Manning. There was no reason to trade him away. There was no reason to force him into retirement. It's Eli Manning until you have Eli Manning's replacement. And we are Daniel Jones until you have Daniel Jones's replacement. What do I feel about Daniel Jones? I believe he could deliver the ball to whoever he's got to deliver the ball to. What do I want? I want a replacement for Daniel Jones. I think Daniel Jones's knee, which I think is fine, and his 2 neck injuries is a major problem, and this is a business. Daniel Jones gets hurt in his neck, and he's looking at 6 to 8 weeks. Justin Pennick gets hurt, and his neck is 2 to 4. So there's a monster difference between someone that has a neck problem that could literally force him out of the game with no backup plan. So go get a replacement. What do I think the Giants are doing right now? My own personal opinion, I think they're finally setting up a team, and eventually whoever that guy is could be Daniel Jones for the next whatever amount of years. But I think they're setting up a team and trying to run with it, whether it's Daniel Jones or not. Just my opinion.
All right, so let me ask you this.
Shoot.
Joe Shane has recently preached patience, and we had a podcast conversation about this.
Yes,
so Joe Shane's preaching patience, and I think what he's saying without actually saying it, based on his actions of, hey, you mentioned it, they tried to move up for Drake May.
They did.
I think
if
the Patriots,
100%.
and I don't think the Patriots were going to accept any offer because the Vikings offered a pretty good haul, and the Giants offered, I think, possibly even a better haul because pick 6 is more valuable than pick 11, and so we know that they wanted to get a quarterback, and I'm glad that they didn't take McCarthy because that's good process. Don't just take a quarterback for the purpose of taking a quarterback. So Joe Shane is preaching patience in year 3 of his regime. How does that make you feel as a fan, and especially as a fan that is a regular season ticket holder and travels to every single game?
Yeah, hey, look, great question, Justin. It's been really tough to go to every game and know that your team is probably not going to win the game. I used to go to games and I was like, the Giants are winning this game. So it's been really tough. I mean, it's been a complete flip-flop from what I was used to back in the day. I hate the patience thing. I do. I can't stand it. But the way things have played out, what other choice do Giants fans have other than to have patience with fixing the roster? I believe the Giants took a major step in fixing the O-line and free agency. Don't want to talk about the draft, no OL, no DL. I know that they did a lot of work in free agency, and I'm probably not done picking up players, in camp and this and that, whether they work out or not. But what else can the man say? They're not
Yeah.
going anywhere. I don't buy any of that bullshit about hot seat, nothing. These guys ain't on no hot seat. I don't care what anybody says. Should they be? Different story. And I'm not here to judge that story. Whatever you believe in. There's no hot seat. I can tell you that.
Which is, you saying that is meaningful to me. It's because we've seen the two years in, 2 years, then and then out cycle since Coughlin, right? And obviously without the GM. But it would be hard to get rid of one without the other, right? One, I just think Dable. If we had a talent issue, no talent issue, like a good talent pool, but just they weren't coaching him up. Okay, you let the GM try and hire another head coach because he's put talent on the field. But it's kind of been the opposite, where the coach has done the coaching up of not great talent, but the GM is like good process and they're tied at the hip. So you can't get rid of one or the other. But if they have another horrible year after year 3, like it'd be interesting to see if they get close to pulling the trigger. But I agree with you. I think they're pretty confidently locked into at least 4 seasons.
I think they have another draft ahead of them. Agreed. It's not a 5-year. It's not a 3-year. You get that extra year. It's a 4-year. I said the same thing to someone like last week or last month. It's a 4-year plan of patience, which I can't believe we're still using that word. Like, have patience. Your line will be fixed. Dozen years. But I 1,000% agree with you. I think you are not getting rid of one without the other. I think if there's a GM position that Shane wants somewhere, I guarantee you there's a head coaching position at that team as well. So I agree that they come and go together, and they're not in a position to get rid of them after this year. There's not even a warm seat. We'll talk about that next year. Or we'll talk about that after this year. If it's a flop, then maybe the seat gets a little warmer. And you're right. I think the Giants, I don't know. What do you guys think? It's almost like they treated the head coaching position like getting rid of Eli. Like, oh, no, let's just run it this way. Wait. We'll try it this way one more time. No, we'll try it this way. Because, what was it? Shermer. And, it was like just plug in. And then, Judge or what was it? McAdoo, whatever, and Shermer, and then Judge. I just feel like they were plugins, and then they really tried to fix it with Judge, but wouldn't let Judge really be Judge in my eyes.
Here's how it compares to Eli, where they made a decision, right?
Yeah.
You had Ben McAdoo make a decision to bench him.
Yeah.
And then they went back on it because the fans, and I think rightfully so, freaked out with who they chose to put in. I think it would have been a little bit more justified if they did Davis Webb. So, they made a decision and then they went back on it, and then they doubled down on him by having him for 2 more years, 2018 and 2019. Yeah. And then I think how it compares to the head coaching is that they make a decision with Shermer. Okay, but we're going to get rid of Shermer almost right away with drafting the rookie quarterback. So then we're going to go back on the investment that they made. And then I ultimately feel like Judge they have a plan for what they're looking for at head coach. Judge blows John Mara away, thinks that he has his next Bill Belichick. So then then there's miscommunication between Gettleman not liking Judge because I think Judge was more of Mara's guy. So this was just all just miscommunication and bad process and putting people together that don't work well and going back on decisions that you make. And that's why I really hope that the New York Giants, and it works with Joe Shane and Brian Dable because they do work together so well. And it seems like Dable is a good coach, and it seems like Shane has good process, but we kind of just need everything to line up correctly. And that's what we're waiting for.
You nailed it with the Webb, believe it or not, because whether Davis Webb was the answer or not, Gino wasn't. And I'm sorry. People still like, he could have went to this. No, he couldn't have. And don't get me wrong. Years later, he still had an all-pro, season.
We had a weird thought on our football show because Gino might be a free agent after this year, and the Giants don't have any easy quarterback plan. What if Gino comes back?
Then they sit Jones and put Gino in, and
could you imagine how full circle that'd be if Gino? Because he could be their best option in 2025. Like he
Wait a
could
minute,
legitimately
and
be like the
You're
the
right.
smart
in 2000
decision could be to sign Geno Smith after
And it's true in the
for
Raiders.
2025.
The Raiders come to New York, so it could be the Raider game where
Yeah,
Oh.
please put that game week 1.
That's it. It happens.
Uh,
That's wild. That's
but
wild.
so, with that, right? So this is where we're in like
Conundrum.
we love covering this team. We love talking about this team. And me and Justin, like you, were strongly in the do not draft JJ McCarthy camp.
Now I'm with.
But
I'm
with
with
that, the quarterback answer is just there's no clear. If you ask them what is their plan to get their next franchise QB,
It's murky.
they can't give you a good answer because it's
So-
just
but-
dependent on a million moving pieces, and it's just not an easy path there. Like
Is that a bad answer? Is that a bad answer? Because it's the right. That's being
it's
honest.
a correct answer, but it's a tough pill to swallow for a lot of people,
You know what? And
and it's why people
that
aren't
would've-
excited about this team at all right now.
Okay, fair enough. But so be it. I get accused of not being a realist so many times. Now I'm a realist. This is where we're at. If they would have drafted Drake May, would we be having this conversation?
No, we
Drake
wanted
May would
Drake
have
May.
been right. Drake May would have been the quarterback, or it would have been some battle in camp that you're reading about between Daniel Jones and Drew Lock, which I'm not even buying that, by the way.
Yeah, neither are we. At least I'm
This
not.
is Daniel Jones's team, guys. I don't know how many times. Go and complain all you want. It's Daniel Jones's team until it's not.
I feel like it's Joe Shane's team right now, and Daniel Jones. I think we all know they feel like they messed up by signing him.
The contract?
Yeah,
I think so too.
yeah, and I think they're doing
And
under
you
this.
know what? And the only thing I'll complain about that is you can't mention one thing without mentioning the Barkley. Because whether you would have given him the money or tried to work that out while franchising, you can't say one without the other when I talk about it. And yet the Barkley thing bothers me more because I don't understand what you were doing a year later. Like if your goal was not to sign him again, then you should have gotten rid of him the year before. You should have dumped him.
Well, they thought they were
to
going to win and be good this past year.
You still have to pay him.
I know.
Nah,
Are you going to boo? Are you going to boo Saquon?
He's an Eagle. Screw
Hell
him.
yes.
Any chance he makes it to the softball game?
He wishes. He wishes he could come to the softball game. He's gonna be so mad that he can't be there.
So hold on. So there's a video online. If you pull up Landon Collins celebrity softball game, which is the Dexter Lawrence celebrity softball game, you pull up the Landon Collins celebrity softball game. The second video is my favorite video, right? There is a play in the video that Saquon nails someone with a dodgeball and without looking gets out of the way and the ball goes. He's so freaking good in dodgeball. Like he's really freaking good.
We'll see how good he is now.
So yeah, now he's dead. So I'll call him out no matter what. I said to him, I knew he was going to Philly. Sent me a text. You're gonna hate me. So I guess I didn't know it was Philly. It was Philly or Dallas. And I wrote back, no, are you kidding? And so I knew he was going to Philly, right? And I said to him later, a few weeks later, I'm like, look, since everybody hates you anyway, I was like, can you get a Devontae Smith softball game, which he goes to every year? I'm like, can Dex and Devontae maybe in 2025 do a Giants versus Eagles softball game and dodgeball game?
Wow.
So it's on the table.
There'd be fights.
It's
You'd have
on
to
the
get
table.
you'd have to get the police there.
Yeah, it would be a bloodbath. It would be a bloodbath
Between the fans.
It would be. It really would be bad. And
You make headlines.
that's in conversation, and Giants versus Jets in the future is in the conversation.
Yeah, I remember
more
you had
civil.
talked about that in the past.
That was happening. That was happening until COVID hit. I mean, literally,
Yeah.
it was happening,
Yeah.
and then it didn't happen.
You know the meme of like Squidward watching, SpongeBob and Patrick outside.
Out the window.
That is Saquon with the softball game. Like
You're damn right.
he still loves
damn
all
right.
those guys, and he's gonna miss being a part of those events. So yeah, I don't hate Saquon, by the way, but I am excited to boo him as a fan of booing. Number one,
That's correct.
as number two, like I'm thinking about going to that game depending on what the schedule happens.
Wait, home or away?
The home game because I want to hear the boos, but
Well, it's
Justin-
all away. It's all away to you.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
true. Speaking of which, schedule releases tomorrow when we're releasing this. 2 questions. What city are you most looking forward to visiting this year? And do you have any hints on if the Giants are playing an international game? Can you give any? Or are you not allowed to?
I don't think you get hints till like the day of, right?
No, I got it a couple of days, but I got in trouble last year for putting out a Christmas
Yeah, I mean,
tree.
you just tweeted it out with all the gifts with the emoji.
Yeah,
basically.
but I still got in trouble for it. So, no,
But they're not listening. They're not listening to this. So,
oh, great. Then I could tell you everything. No, there are no hints. But I gotta brush up on my freaking German.
okay.
Oh, really?
No, I don't know. Maybe.
Oh, man.
Oh,
No,
come
I
on.
don't. You know what? It's funny too, because the Panthers and the Giants, like I just want to go to Carolina. That's all I want to do.
Well, you know, it's funny.
That might be. I love the state of North Carolina, Charlotte, all that area. Like,
I'm going in
why
a
would
couple
you
weeks.
take away North Carolina from us?
So do I.
So you're gonna speak German in North Carolina.
Yeah, exactly. I'm looking
Okay.
for-
Do you know the
Looking forward.
preseason schedule? I'm actually way more interested in the preseason schedule.
No,
I wanna
actually, that I don't know.
I want to break a preseason game like I did. I kind of want to make that a yearly tradition.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have to break the one. To me, it's the most important because at least that can decide like final summer plans right there.
I'll tell you what. If I get that later today, which I should, I'm gonna text you guys. You could put it out there.
I want the preseason schedule so bad.
No, I want to break it. You don't touch it. You
Yeah,
break
Justin
enough
wants-
news.
Justin wants to break it.
So let's finish off with some softball game stuff. It's sexydexygame.com.
Whoa, wait! You didn't answer, LPG. I mean, obviously you're looking forward to going to North Carolina to speak German. What other? I have the away opponents up. Non-division: Seattle, Atlanta, Cleveland, Pittsburgh. Is there an away city you're particularly looking forward to going to?
I have friends out in Seattle, but I hate the flight, so I'm not looking forward to it. Pittsburgh has the best tailgate. They're like Oakland, LA, and now Vegas. They like tailgate like you can't even like walk through without getting like harassed. Kind of like that. So I always look forward to going to Pittsburgh. Cleveland's fun on the water, believe it or not. That's it. I mean,
First time I've heard
game,
that. Cleveland was fun.
my normal, away game, which I love every single year, is Dallas. I mean, it's the best stadium. I like the people in Dallas, the fans excluded, and the tailgate is fun. The food is great. The barbecue's phenomenal. I look forward to Dallas every single year.
They don't really have like last year was a really rough schedule, like travel wise.
Yeah, it's not as rough. We're gonna have a shit ton of 1 o'clock, baby. Oh,
Yeah, I can't
Excited
wait
for that.
I'm so
honestly.
excited.
me too.
8 and 9 is my prediction. We'll get yours in training camp.
I did really, really well with my school taking off last year. Like I got back for everything. I don't think I missed a day schedule wise. I literally was back in overnight in red eyes, and I was very, very proud of that. Because it's a battle every year though. When I give my word to, my principal or my superintendent, like, don't worry, I'll be back. And then like they're like, wow, you really are back. But then I'll remind them like, yeah, but next year I might have a Thursday night game like in China. Please, I won't be back.
Yeah, imagine that's when the NFL schedule is going to get nuts when they start putting the Wednesday games in international. That's actually what's going to happen.
Yeah, actually, the Giants are going to be Giants in Africa in 2026. Watch.
We'll be there.
Yeah.
We at least know you'll be there.
I'm there.
And OC will be there too.
I'm staying with OC. Yeah, exactly.
SexyDexyGame.com. I am so excited for it. Don't if you miss this, I'm telling you, people, you're gonna have FOMO. Like this is a FOMO event that you're gonna get. Like when we did that first fan fest, right, with us, a lot of people had FOMO. I feel like this is gonna be like on crack compared to fan fest. So you're gonna be up close, personal with Giants legends, current Giants players. Make sure to come say hello to us. LPG is going to be running around going crazy. And thank you for putting this on, right? This is a
Yes.
huge effort. I'm excited to see it pay off for you.
Yeah, look, I'm a fan, obviously, first and foremost, and I know what I like. And the reason why I started is because I wanted to hang around with the freaking guys that I love watching on Sundays and Thursdays and Fridays and now Wednesdays and Mondays. So I loved it. And now fast forward to the fifth one. And, I've never raised in the 50s. And that's my ultimate goal. I've always been 30s and $40,000. I really want to get into the 50s, and we're close. I think ticket sales this week will put the charity over the 50. At least I pray for that. Even after paying the bills and security and food and everything else, I really believe we'll get there. And, it goes to St. Christopher's Inc., which is a nonprofit organization servicing troubled youth. And I've been in the troubled youth field for, 25 years. So it means a lot to me. And Dex has been, on board with it and has spoken to some of the kids. And Brandon Jacobs is Brandon Jacobs. He not only cares about the kids, he wants to talk as much shit as he can to Dex. And it is a tremendous undertaking, and I'm excited for it.
I want to see Brandon Jacobs' son, by the way. That's who I'm most looking forward to seeing. Is he going to make it, or is he visiting Alabama and Georgia and LSU and all those schools?
No, both sons will be there. And another thing I'll go on record for. So I think Braden's now 6'8", 320.
He makes Dex look small.
Yeah. So Brandon showed me a video the other day of Brandon was standing behind his son, and then he peeked out, and I'm like, you were standing behind him? Like a total eclipse. So he's a monster. But Quinn Jacobs is going to be top 10 draft pick.
It's the other one?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And not a lineman.
What position? D end?
No, I think he's a skill position. I think he's running back.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess we'll have one running behind the other for New York Giants.
Oh my God, that would be amazing.
At the Braden Jacobs, 2032 softball game.
It'll be Braden Jacobs blocking for Quinn Jacobs and Evan Neal and the other Neal guard and tackle, and then it would be
any
fine.
scenario where Evan Neal's still with this team in that time from now, I'll be happy. So I'm good with it. All right, we're trying to end this 25 times. We'll end it. SexyDexyGame.com. We're going to be promoting it all week long. Make sure to get your tickets. Come out, say hello. We appreciate you guys. And Joe, we appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Love you guys. Let's go. See you Saturday.
All right, thank you to License Plate Guy for coming on the show. Hey, we hope to see you out at the softball game this Saturday. Bobby and License Plate Guy before the show. I think they were doing something where they were saying it was Sunday. And I got very confused and concerned. No, it's Saturday. So we'll see you there. Before we talk about Elijah Chatman, we got to talk about DraftKings. Bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, bases full, down 3. The crowd on their feet, and Dexter Lawrence is at the plate, and Brandon Jacobs is pitching. The drama of baseball is real, and so is the action at the DraftKings Sportsbook. From the first pitch to the final out, DraftKings has you covered with same-game parlays, live betting odds boosts, and so much more. And if you're new to DraftKings, you got to check this out. New customers, you can bet $5 to get $150 instantly in bonus bets. It's that simple. DraftKings also has you covered with same-game parlays. Love those. Live betting odds boosts and so much more. Love putting a little live betting on. Just bet Aaron Judge is going to walk the first at-bat every single game, and you're bound to get something good. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code WORLD. Talking Giants versus World. New customers bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets instantly. That's code WORLD. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In West Virginia, visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction, void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.co/bball for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gambling resources. Bobby Skinner, you'll be glad you did.
So, Justin, we got out of rookie camp and it was basically news free, which is a good rookie camp, number one. Before we get into Elijah Chatman, we did get something that was clear cut. Andru Phillips is a nickel corner, right? They are not joking about that at all. And I want to talk about this on a different pod. But Cordell Flott's an outside corner, and right now he's in line to be the starter. And Andru Phillips is a nickel only, right? They're not. It doesn't seem like they're going to be playing him on outside and in. Like they made it pretty clear, like he is a nickel corner only. So that was like the only thing. That was the only thing of news to come out of it, right? We didn't have a guy not wearing his shoes. We didn't have JMS. The dead snap, like that was the only real anything of importance to come out of it.
Yeah, which I honestly want to. I almost want to watch Andru Phillips more. I want to rewatch the game that he was solely in the slot for this past year against Tennessee. Every single snap he took against the slot. I really want to try and compile as many slot snaps as possible to see what he did and how he did. If he maybe made some better plays on the football from the slot. There's numbers to back that up too. PFF does, stats from the slot and then the outside too. So there's an ongoing conversation with Andru Phillips, and again, like, you spent 2 third-round investments in Cordell Flott and Andru Phillips, and both of those guys, I don't know, man. I don't know. If Cordell Flott can turn into a functioning, capable player for the New York Football Giants even if you're not like a great starter, but if you're a guy that's just playable and you're out there, then it will help the perception of that
I think
2022 draft class.
Like Flott's a playable player.
Not in zone coverage right now. Like you're just a complete liability. Where he makes like these flash great plays, but then there are also times where he can allow a big explosive play, and it's a problem. And also he's not even very good against the run right now. So
the run is the biggest worry. Not the biggest worry, but that's where I don't know if there's going to be an improvement.
The 2 position groups that I'm most worried about this team are the secondary, specifically the cornerbacks and the offensive line.
Yep. Let's talk about Elijah Chatman, though, Justin. The Giants, he came to rookie minicamp, and he impressed them, which I can see. Like, you look at the guy, and he's just a flat ball of muscle. Like, he's jacked. He's a defensive tackle out of SMU, although I don't know if that's going to be the position he plays for the New York Giants. He's 5'11", 278 pounds, so that is obviously very undersized for defensive tackle. But he tested really well at SMU's pro day, ran a 4.8 140, a 4.59 shuttle, 7.85 3-cone drill, and then 32 bench press reps. I think his shuttle would have been the second highest for defensive tackles in the class. And then stat-wise, he's been pretty consistent the last 4 years. Between 30 to 40 tackles. 3 sacks, 4.5, 2.5, and then 9, 4, and 9 tackles for a loss. So he's been able to get that. He's just a short, muscled-up D lineman, Justin, who has got quick get off and good athleticism. Like, he's actually got a trump card that you look for in an undrafted free agent. Whereas, like, show me that thing that you're just really good at, even though you have size deficiencies or weaknesses, and he has that. Like, it's the get off, it's the lateral quickness, and the hand moves, right? He's got fast, violent hands with the lateral moves. Like, he works a swim, cross chop, and rips. We'll talk about how he anchors and plays the run game, Justin. But, like, there's legitimately impressive film as a pass rusher for Chatman. And against, like, Oklahoma, too, not just beating up on small schools.
Yeah, the Oklahoma game was the game that I watched, and I'm with you. The thing that stuck out to me most was his hands, and that's what Andre Patterson has been known to help unlock with Dexter Lawrence, and even a little bit of Jordan Riley too. Yeah, you're just a ball of clay with strength. Well, let's use your hands a little bit more. And Chatman's got, you mentioned the cross chop. I saw some tight swim moves as well. It's not a wide swim move that offensive lineman can get in your ribs. It's nice and tight, and it's quick. It's efficient. It's efficient when it works. When it works, obviously if he was really polished and he was really elite at all these things, then he would have been drafted, and he would have been drafted higher. But what, like you said, what you look for out of these UDFAs and these guys that we're talking about this time of the year is, can you at least be fun in one area or some areas? And Chatman's fun in some areas. And you look at the weight, and you immediately think that, all right, well, you're young, you can add more weight, and then now we're talking about an interior defensive lineman that maybe can stick around at the bottom of the roster. But the story gets more complicated when you talk about his role on the opposite side of the ball.
Yeah, he's maxed out his frame, and I do want to talk about the idea of him playing fullback in a second. But here's why he's undrafted as a defensive tackle, right? Like, because he's got good athleticism. He's got good quick wins, right? Is that, again, the size. The size hurts him, right? It's not even like he's a weak player. It's just that size gets you in trouble, and lack of length to go with it, right? Like if there's a pass rusher, it's quick initial win or essentially bust, right? There's some plays of him pushing the pocket a little bit, but I just don't see that happening with his size and length at the NFL level. And they're not great. They're not like some of these shorter defensive tackles. You'll see them get under an offensive line's pads and just drive it back. That's not it with Chatman. Like you're having some plays where, okay, some good walk back power here. You're not. So if the initial move loses, well, then Chatman's just done as a rusher on that play. And then as a run defender, he can have, again, some quick wins. If he's getting double teamed because he's short, he'll play with leverage, but it's not like he can kind of anchor down there in the spot, but he can also get bullied, right? Because he plays so low and tries to make up for his size, guys will just put him in the dirt, right? There was play where it's just like, okay, when he's trying to be the low man, he's just getting put in the dirt because he's not playing with good balance, playing this low to the ground. And there's guys where torque blocks where they'll displace him, double teams where they'll just totally move him. I mean, that size is an issue, right? So we're, again, mini camp invite who signed, not predicting a bunch of defensive tackle success, but this is where it gets interesting. He did it in high school a little bit. He got 27 reps at fullback this last year for SMU. Now, they weren't like some dominant fullback reps, but he has the size and the athletic profile to do it. And what you did see, which is what I want to see for a guy who's new to this fullback thing, good initial pop, right? We can teach, if you can focus on this, we can teach you to keep your feet driving, keep your base within you, and finish those blocks. But I need to see good, quick initial pop, right? That's like when we signed Jeremiah Hall out of Oklahoma a couple years ago, Justin. It's like, I get he has some receiving ability H-back, but he doesn't bring pop as a blocker. He does, right? For better or for worse. There's times where he brings pop and he put a guy in the ground. There's times where he brings pop and the guy slides off and is able to, try and make a play at the back. This gives him just as good a chance as any of the other UDFAs to make the roster. And this is something that needs to be asked of Carmen Brasillo, by the way, because Carmen Brasillo has whole clinics out there of like the run game with the fullback. The Giants don't have a fullback on the roster. Someone needs to ask Carmen Brasillo about it. Like, hey, it's been a valuable piece to you. Are you okay with just not running a fullback? So I don't know if Whitman's going to be that or what, but It's going to be interesting to see if it gets if it happens. And Paul Dottino brought it up, like in the first Giants related person to tweet about it was Paul Dottino, who's in the building, and brought up the fact that he's played fullback.
Yeah. Now here's my pushback on it, because I just looked this up. 27 snaps on offense in 2023, which that may not be accurate. Like I'm looking at PFF.
Yeah, 27 snaps at fullback.
And then 17 in 2019 at fullback. And he had obviously he had way more at defense, where this past year he had 474
he didn't, after
snaps.
2019, he just played defensive tackle for them.
Well, no, 2023 he got 27, so it was more.
I'm saying until this last year.
Until this past year. Okay, yeah, so what I'm really interested to see is, I think 278 pounds is, I think that's the max of maybe what you want your fullback playing, right? I don't think you want them nearing 300 pounds, right?
No, but he can stay at the weight that, like, you look at him, he's a ball of muscle. He has no fat on his body. Like, he's a
my point is,
ball of muscle.
My point is 278 pounds is light for an interior defensive lineman. So if he walks into camp in August and we check the roster sheet and we see that Elijah Chatman's at 285 pounds, then my brain is going to go to, hey, we're going to have this guy at defensive line.
Yes.
Maybe if he shows up at the same weight or even a little bit lighter, then I'm thinking fullback. That's what I'm thinking. And I want to give you a 2015 Giants trivia, because it's one of my favorite years.
Nikita Whitlock.
Yes, Giants legend. 14 games, 5 games started. Can't believe 5 games started. 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss, 4 QB hits. He was a fullback for the Giants, is listed as like a tight end, also on Pro Football Reference, and then he was also like a rotational defensive lineman on a very bad 2015 Giants defense. But he legit had some like good and fun plays, and it's a shame he only played for for 1 year. So that's the, it's funny because we're talking about Elijah Chatman as this
he
versatile.
is Nikita Whitlock, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, except he's bigger. Nikita Whitlock's listed at 251 pounds, and Chapman's a big old 278, and he carries 278 pretty well. So, fun player to keep an eye on as we're gonna get rolling into camp. Do you have a link? Because we really liked Andre Miller, right? We liked Andre Miller more than Jeremiah Hall, right?
Yeah, but Andre Miller also played wide receiver at Maine.
Right.
We just knew Jeremiah Hall was not a good blocker, basically.
Right. So I almost want to ask you, like, who do you think is a better blocker, Chatman or Andre Miller? I guess you would have to lean Chatman, right?
I mean, we really never saw Andre Miller block besides
outside of
training camp. There was no we've seen some wide receiver film, but there was nothing. I can't believe people have no idea what we're talking about. Andre Miller was a wide receiver from the University of Maine who transitioned to tight end for the Giants in 2022, and then they moved him to their H-back fullback role. He was the starter, and then he broke his arm.
He was going to play.
Yeah, he was going to be their starting H-back over Chris Myrick. Like, he was starting over Chris Myrick, and then Chris Myrick scored a touchdown week 1, Saquon 2-pointer, and then we all had a great year. All right, Justin, that is an episode. Really, hey, let's look back at this episode and say, this is the episode that I learned about Elijah Chatman. I'm hoping he plays fullback because the defensive tackle, there's really not a path to NFL success there. Fullback, I can talk myself into it. So hopefully he's at fullback. We'll see you guys Friday again.
And
email me.
Also, we teased the Jared Goff Lions extension, 4 years, $212 million. We teased it on Football Today.
Son of a bitch. There's going to be at least 3 comments saying Jared Goff just signed. It's like, yes, figure it out, you dummy, that we recorded this earlier. All right, we'll see you then. We'll see you Friday at sexydexygame.com, Bobby at johnboymedia.com. Until then, let's go Big Blue.